I'm Aaron Maté, sitting in for Jimmy Dore, here with Misha Pollan and Americans comedian Kurt Metzger. And let's do an update on East Palestine, Ohio, the toxic train derailment there. Here is the headline from Now This. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, Congressmember Bill Johnson, and EPA Administrator Michael Regan visited East Palestine residents and drank their tap water, which came from municipal water sources, in an effort to provide them some peace of mind.
Is this going to be an Obama sip?
Good question. Here is some footage.
We need to feel safe.
Yes.
In our home. I mean, I don't even walk in my grass because I don't know what's in it.
Caroline, you're on municipal water, right?
Yes. Well, I haven't been drinking it because I want to make sure that I'm not drinking something that's going to cause me harm.
If you want to fill that up for me.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Here's to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome.
That's good. That's really cold coming from that.
Okay, so what's the... Obama did the trick sip, but what did they do here? They have like a pump outside with some other water. They find this lady ahead of time. Nobody has a Brita in this family.
In 2016, President Obama said that the water in Flint, Michigan was safe. He brought a cup of water to his lips and pretended to drink, then told his audience to settle down. Since then, thousands of Flint residents were poisoned. These are lessons for East Palestine, Ohio.
Now, the reason I know I'm okay is because I already had some Flint water.
Oh, dear God.
There we go.
Don't do it, Mr. President.
I really did need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
This is not a stunt, he says.
Oh, my God.
Now, I'm going to talk about this. Everybody settle down. This is a feisty crowd.
Yeah.
You know, the inspiring image of Biden and Zelensky looks better now as I'm watching this inspiring image. Like an early Rick and Morty before we found out the guy who talks to teens online.
So this is from Case Study QB on Twitter. The CEO of Norfolk Southern, the company behind the train derailment, Alan Shaw, answers questions, including why they did this controlled burn. So we talked about this on the Jimmy Dore show, how
also no such thing as a controlled burn.
Yes,
not even in
right.
firefighting.
Yes,
it's called a prescribed burn because you can't control it.
they blew up these chemicals after the derailment.
Oh, yeah, controlling it.
Yeah.
EPA announcing today it is ordering the rail company to clean up the accident site where toxic chemicals, including vinyl chloride, were released in the days following. If the railroad fails to do so, the agency is saying it will immediately conduct the work and compel the company to pay triple the cost. Norfolk is already facing multiple class action lawsuits from the community. I was at the site of the accident just earlier today. I sat down with Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw for a first on CNBC interview. We began the discussion by asking him about the cause of the crash and the video that has circulated showing a wheel shooting off sparks 20 miles away from the actual site of the derailment, and specifically why the train system didn't send an alert. Take a listen.
I'm really prohibited from talking about this while it's under NTSB investigation. We're fully cooperating with the NTSB and the FRA. We're going to get to the root cause of this. And if changes need to be made, we'll implement those changes. Right now, my focus is on the citizens of this community.
Okay. So 3 days after the derailment,
Getting them to shut up and not not say too much about it.
Decision was made to do a control release, control burn of some of those tank cars that did hold toxic chemicals, including some that are known carcinogens. Why did that need to happen, and who decided that that was the way it should happen?
So I was here when that decision was made. You know, I was with Unified Command, and Governor DeWine and Governor Shapiro and Mayor Conaway and Fire Chief Drebeck and the National Guard were all aligned that this was the right decision to make in terms of public safety. You know, the fact that we knew at that time that the pressure relief valves on the cars had failed, the temperatures were rising, caused our independent expert to become very concerned about the potential for an uncontrolled explosion that would shoot harmful gas and shrapnel into a populated community. So our independent consultant and the Ohio EPA recommended to Unified Command for a controlled burn and a controlled release. Now, the goal of that was to burn off the harmful chemicals. We had air monitoring in place before, during, and after. And that air monitoring did not pick up any traces of those toxic chemicals. But look, I was here. I know, I saw it. I know how it looked. It was scary. You know, I'd never seen anything like that. And I know the citizens of this community had never seen anything like that. So I know how it looked, and I know how it could scare folks. I also know that based on the test results, it was done in strong consideration of safety of this community, and that was the only factor that was in play during that decision.
I mean, not updating our brakes was not a thing that we...
Well, someone who was not impressed with the Biden administration is the mayor of East Palestine, Ohio, who criticized Biden for going to Kiev before he came to Ohio. This is what he said.
He's more welcome to come if he wants to come. I was very frustrated last night. If you're talking about the comments I made last night, I was very frustrated, and I stand by those comments. But yeah, if he wants to come, he's welcome.
Why don't you just wave a Russian flag, dude?
And let's check on Mayor Pete. He's the guy who reminded us that, hey, look, there's 1,000 of these accidents a year. So why the big deal?
Jesus Christ, that's his thing. This happens all the time.
Yeah. What's the big deal?
Look, rail safety is something that has evolved a lot over the years, but there's clearly more that needs to be done because while this horrible situation has gotten a particularly high amount of attention, there are roughly 1,000 cases a year of a train derailing.
Maybe you should dock some of those rail workers' pay.
Here's more from Mayor Pete. Speaking to ABC News, he says, I'm planning to go, and our folks were on the ground from the first hour. I do want to stress that the NTSB needs to be able to do its work independently. So he's now vowing to go.
There were shouts of where's Pete Buttigieg at a town hall meeting last week. What's your response to that? When are you going to go to East Palestine?
Well, I am planning to go, and our folks were on the ground from the first hours. I do want to stress that the NTSB needs to be able to do its work independently. But when I go, the focus is going to be on action. Look, I was mayor of my hometown for 8 years. We dealt with a lot of disasters, natural and human. And one of the things...
Like what? I don't know. Anything compared to natural and human?
Are you not going until the air clears up a little, Pete? Because how is he going to interfere just by being there? If I go, I'm going to be like standing over him, like, you sure that's how you want to investigate it? No, you let him do their thing.
He's going to get mobbed by all his fans in East Palestine. he doesn't want to take away attention from
I got
the recovery.
a new baby. I can't be getting sick.
I noticed very quickly is that there's two kinds of people who show up when you have that kind of disaster experience. People who are there because they have a specific job to do and are there to get something done, and people who are there to look good and have their picture taken. When I go, it will be about action on rail safety.
Wow, why didn't they think to say this during Katrina in New Orleans?
Here is a reporter trying to question Mayor Pete.
Secretary, what do you have to say? Hi, how are you? Good. Jenny Dore at the Daily Caller News Foundation. What do you have to say to the folks in Ohio, East Palestine, who are suffering right now?
Well, I'd refer you to about a dozen interviews I've given today, and if you'd like to arrange a conversation, reach out to the press office as well.
I'm on my break.
Yeah, why not just answer the question? Just say, I'm thinking of you.
Office hours are posted.
You don't have a message for them?
I do, and I shared it with the press many times today. I'd refer you to those comments.
Would you mind sharing it with us?
No, I'm going to refer you to the comments that I made to the press because right now I'm taking some personal time and I'm walking down the street.
Are you going down there?
What's that?
Are you going down there at all?
Yeah, I am.
So he's whipping out his phone, which is the classic move you do when you're a politician and you don't want to answer a question from the public. Just break out the phone, pretend you got a message or a call coming in. It's a good move.
When are you going?
I'll share that when I'm ready.
Okay,
not talking on the
thank
street. Can I get a photo of you?
Yeah.
Oh, for Homeland Security?
What is he, a reporter?
Yes. Can I get a photo of you? Because this is I don't feel safe. I was going to make a joke. He's going to go, I don't feel safe. And that's what he did.
Well,
wow.
Good news for East Palestine. Donald J. Trump is on the way. Here's President Trump He's there now. He says, "You are not forgotten." The residents of East Palestine have said it's been a big slap in the face to see Biden visit Ukraine, but not them. He's right. Now,
I don't care much from Palestinians, but Palestinians, I'm with you.
It's also a slap in the face that Trump oversaw some undermining of regulations that could have helped prevent disasters like the one in East Palestine, but he's not going to talk about that.
Yeah, Trump, isn't he the one that got rid of the idea they're going to have to put those brakes on that could have stopped it? Is that true or false?
There is the criticism of him of that, but yeah, he was involved in basically undermining regulations.
Because Obama said they had to update their 1800s brakes.
Yeah.
And then I love that.
Yeah. Now, some people argued that the regulations that Trump opposed wouldn't have prevented this. I don't know. The point is, he definitely opposed regulations that could have.
Yeah, the outdated system is a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me that the regulations that he opposed could have been a factor here. But the point is, now he is now he is there.
At least he shows up, and
he did show up. He did. Yeah. Buttigieg to visit Ohio train derailment site Thursday amid NTSB probe. This is from the Washington Post. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg will visit the site of a Norfolk Southern train derailment in East Palestine on Thursday, the second cabinet official to make a visit to the Ohio village since the incident 2 weeks ago. Buttigieg will meet with members of the community, get an update on the NTSB's investigation, and speak to investigators from his department who have been helping to determine the cause of the derailment. As the federal government has come under criticism for its response to the derailment, Buttigieg has increasingly been in the spotlight, with some residents and local officials saying he personally had done too little to help. The Transportation Department has stepped up its response in recent days, with Buttigieg writing to the chief executive of Norfolk Southern on Sunday and issuing a set of safety proposals Tuesday. The NTSB is expected to issue a preliminary report on the February 3rd derailment, which could include new clues about what went wrong, but will not formally reach a conclusion about the cause. The 149-car train derailed late in the evening, creating what officials have said was a risk of an explosion that was managed by a controlled burn of dangerous vinyl chloride. The NTSB has said there are signs that a wheel bearing on the train overheated before the derailment.
No,
hey, JD.
Hi.
Hey.
I just want to say that if you voted for Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg, turns out you're a big piece of shit.
You should have lifted a trumpet to your mouth after you heard.
I know we're all giggling, but that's for real, because people think they're better people because they voted for Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg, and they're not. And just like in 1992 when they voted for Bill Clinton was the greater evil. Just like when they voted for Barack Obama, greater evil. Just like now when they voted for Joe Biden, greater evil. And that's a fucking fact. You tell me that you didn't vote for fascism. Tell me when you voted for Joe Biden, you didn't vote for fascism. Because that's exactly what he did. He crushed a railroad workers' strike, and then he did this, which means he did fucking nothing. He's going to give $500 million to the most corrupt country in fucking Europe for an economic proxy war as people are dying and being poisoned in Ohio without even going there. So if you voted for Joe Biden, congratulations. You voted for the fucking destruction of the United States. You didn't vote for anything better than Donald Trump. You voted for something that was this. All right, I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
I didn't know what to do with my face during that. Other than try saying a verse.
Does it not drive you fucking crazy, Aaron, that fucking people voted for this and they think they're better people than Trump voters? That doesn't bother. That fucking bothers me. I don't have to put you on the spot. It fucking bothers me. And if you think you're a better person because you didn't vote for Donald Trump, you are a fucking dupe or a piece of shit. All right.
Cameo appearance from JD himself.
Doing live stand-up comedy in Tempe, Palm Springs, Milwaukee, Nashville, Northampton, Massachusetts, Syracuse, Cohoes, New York, and Hartford, Connecticut. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets and become a premium member. Get access to all our content.